Right, welcome back to the Young Fan Podcast and welcome to another predictions and preview episode here on the channel. Of course, no games being played over the weekend, quite rightly, with the tragic news that the Queen had passed away. Quite rightly, the football taking a backseat in those circumstances. But we're back on Tuesday for a full programme in Sky Bet League One. 12 games, like I say, it's going to be very, very hectic. Some big games in there as well. Give me your thoughts in the comment section down below. Are you excited? Are you nervous? How are you feeling? Give me your predictions. I'll be reading and replying to all of those comments as per usual, and yeah, give me your thoughts. How are you feeling? It's going to be really quite fascinating. I'm quite nervous, of course, travelling to Plymouth. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very, 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 very difficult. We'll come on to that game, of course, in a lot of detail in just a second. Right, let's get straight into it. Please leave a like and subscribe. So close to 3.2 thousand subscribers. The subscriber count is going up and up and up, and it's incredible, and that's all down to you. So thank you so much for your recent support. Right, let's get into it. Starting off with, in fact, let's go with the first game we can see here. Lincoln City against Derby County. Derby travelling to Lincoln. You can see by looking at the league table here, Derby 9th in the league. 7 games played, 3 wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats. 6 goals conceded, 7 goals scored. A loss in their last game, of course. That comeback that did not go their way. Plymouth coming back from 2-0 down. One that Derby County would be really frustrated that they dropped the points there. 11 points from those 7 games. As for Lincoln City, 20th in the league. 7 games played, the same as Derby and every club in the division now. 1 win, 4 draws and 2 defeats. 11 goals conceded, 6 goals scored. A loss in the last game as well. In fact, winless in their last 3. 7 points from those 7 games, averaging, quick maths, a point every game. A lot of draws there. They stand out for Lincoln. 4 in total. Goals conceded, 11. It's not great. It's not great. It's not the worst, but it's not great. Only 6 goals scored, the same as Forest Green Rovers, Cheltenham, and actually Burton, who are bottom of the league. Horrific start. Have scored more than Lincoln. So that's going to be the area that I think they do need to improve going forward. They're not scoring enough goals. And if you're going to concede 11, which, like I say, compared to the other sides in the league, I mean, you know, it's only 1 less than 1 more than Cambridge, who are 5th. You've got to score more. And that's probably the downfall for them. It's not scoring enough goals. Anthony Scully, the key man, the key wide man, who actually did impact the season for Lincoln quite well until he moved to Wigan in that summer transfer window just gone. You feel that's a big blow for them. Looking at those recent games a little bit more detail, we spoke about that one with Derby, a 3-2 defeat, 2-0 up in that game. Sam Cosgrove, somebody that Derby fans will not be wanted to be reminded of. As for Lincoln City, a 2-0 defeat to Cambridge United, a Cambridge side who, like I say, only conceded 1 less goal than them. But that game, Lincoln, they didn't look great whatsoever, and Cambridge continuing on a very good run. A win, a surprise win, I'd say, defeating Barnsley 3-0 in the Football League Trophy, but in Sky Bet League One, hasn't been amazing. In the cup competitions, you can see here, 2-2 draw, which ended up with them winning over Barrow, and that Barnsley game we just mentioned there. They're doing well, but in the league, a little bit of a downfall for me. Those draws, not many wins, only 1 out of 7, and of course, those 2 defeats as well. Looking at the odds here, Lincoln 3-1 with a 25% chance of winning, actually exceeding it with 29%. As for Derby County, 19-20. The expected chance of winning is 51%, but this team actually wins 80% of those matches. So Derby are heavy favourites, both on a bookies, just plain bookies front, but also with them specifically, they do outdo Lincoln as well. So Derby, who are, like I say, 9th in the league, looking to put things right after that defeat last weekend or the weekend before last against Plymouth. It's going to be interesting. And my prediction for it, it's going to be tight. I mean, the bookies, the reason why I say it's tight and the bookies are quite heavy towards Derby is because we know home advantage is huge. We know Lincoln City as well. They're going to be desperate to put things right. How's that defeat against Plymouth going to affect Derby County? I don't know. I'm going to go with a Derby win, but it's going to be tighter than I think people expect. I'm going to go with a 2-1 Derby County win. It's going to be close. It's going to be tight because I think Lincoln, they're going to be up for it. They're going to be up for it. And also, Tuesday night games, they're not too bad this season. So, you know, and I only know that because they defeated Oxford on a Tuesday night. It was a brilliant night for them. Not a good night for me whatsoever. Absolutely horrific. But Tuesday nights, they're doing all right. Can they continue that run on the Tuesday with a point, but can be 3 points against Derby? I don't know. I'm going to go with a win for Derby County over Lincoln City in that one. Right then, let's go to Shrewsbury against Exeter City. You can see here Shrewsbury hosting Exeter, who, for a newly promoted side, are having a good start to the season. We spoke about them quite a lot recently in the roundups, and they're getting better and better. 7th in the league, and like I say, those last 2 games actually unbeaten, a win in their last one. 2 defeats, 2 draws, and 3 wins. 5 goals conceded. Defensively, looking really, really good. Only 5 goals conceded is exceptional. Really, really good. That's actually less goals than Pompey, who who are second in the league. Ipswich only conceded one less goal, who of course are top of the league. They're doing really, really well. 7 games played, 3 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses. 11 points puts them only 1 point out of that top 6. They're doing really, really well. I think I've been quite impressed with Exeter, actually, since they got promoted. I look at 13th place, Shrewsbury Town. Of course, a game against Oxford was going to be on Saturday. Like I say, for quite understandable reason, that football game did not go ahead. They're conceding 6 goals, which isn't that bad. But going forward, 5 goals, it's not great. In fact, it's bad, I'd say. But Morecambe only scored 4. In fact, off the top of my head, I think that is the second worst goals scored ratio, and it is Shrewsbury in 13th. But like I say, they're not conceding many, so you can sort of get away with it. You won't be high flying because you have got to score more goals to win games. Michael Owen, a little one for you there. But again, there's positives in the fact that, like I said, they're not shipping goals, but they've got to score more if they want to climb up that league table. That's a downfall for me this season for Shrewsbury so far. 3 draws in there as well, 9 points as well. Looking at these recent odds here, the recent fixture, we'll come on to the odds in just a second. Shrewsbury, a brilliant win over Forest Green, 2-0. Very comfortable, you'd say, for Shrewsbury. A really professional result. A draw against Bristol Rovers away from home in the game before that as well. So 2 away games. Well, they were away results, but 2 away games for them. They're back at home, of course, for Exeter on Tuesday tomorrow night. As for Exeter, a really good win over MK Dons. They actually dominated MK Dons, unbelievably, in that game. They look so good going forward. Defensively, didn't really look like a troubled side either. Really impressed by them. I'm looking at the odds here as well. Shrewsbury 47 to 25, 35% chance of winning. This might be the closest we've had on a predictions and preview with the bookies. This game really could go either way. 35% chance for Shrewsbury. Exeter 38%. Only, here we go, can Jack get the maths right? Because he gets stick so much for getting the calculations all wrong here. 3% difference between those on the bookies' percentages. As for the specific ones, when you look at them, when you look at their actual recent results over the past few years with those odds, 35% for Shrewsbury, 25% for Exeter. So specifically, Shrewsbury outdo them. Exeter do better than Shrewsbury with the odds just on plain sight perspective. So I'm intrigued by it. Really tight, really close. And because of that, I'm going to sit on the fence. I'm going to go with a draw. I'm going to go Shrewsbury Town 1, Exeter 1. I don't expect many goals. It could even be 0-0, but I do think, Exeter, they scored 10 goals this season, actually. And I also think that recently the games, the win over MK Dons was really impressive. But Shrewsbury, they got a really nice home ground, actually. So I've been there once, actually. I was quite impressed by them. And the fan support as well is really good at Shrewsbury. They've got a brilliant fan base. So the home advantage could be an even bigger factor. I'm going to go with the draw there. I'm going to go 1-1. So Cheltenham Town versus Cambridge United. 2 sides that I compared quite a lot last season. Both got promoted the year before last and stayed very comfortably in the league and played a really, really good brand of football, both of them, actually. Finished 14th and 15th, I believe, in the end. Cheltenham, of course, Michael Duff leaving in the summer. That has been quite a big loss, you feel. William Ball, their centre-back, also joining Huddersfield. Quite key figures in that Cheltenham side leaving. Has been quite damaging, I'd say. As for Cambridge United, it is actually getting better and better. Currently, in those playoff places, 5th in the league. Mark Bonner, second season syndrome, removed. Not even a talking point, because Mark Bonner, and I've been saying it for quite a long time, I really like him. I think he's somebody who wants to play a really attractive style of play. He's very good, actually, I look at the stats here. 11 goals scored, 10 goals conceded. They actually are notoriously last season a really difficult side to break down. We found it this season as well, a really difficult side to break down. We played and we only won the game 1-0. And that might just been because we weren't very good going forward. It probably is that. But last season, they were a really, really difficult side to, like I say, break down. But again, going forward with the likes of Joe Ironside, the striker, the centre forward, who's again a clinical finisher. Sam Smith as well. They've got Digby in that midfield with May as well. Brilliant double pivot. They've got a really, really good squad there, and they're really well balanced, which is really, really interesting. And it's proving like this season with 2 wins in those last 2 games, they're doing very, very well. 11 goals scored as well. They're not shy to hit the back of the net. As for Cheltenham, not as good as Cambridge. 2 sides we did compare, finishing quite similar in League One last season after their promotion. Really quite a banana skin side, Cheltenham, last season. Not easy to break down also, and weren't shy of scoring a goal and picking up some really, really good results across the campaign. this season hasn't started amazingly well. 22nd in the league, 1 win, 2 draws and 4 defeats. 10 goals conceded, only 6 goals scored. Winless in their last 2, 5 points in total. Looking at these recent fixtures here, you can see here Cambridge, a brilliant win over Lincoln City. We spoke about it from a Lincoln perspective. Really professional result for Cambridge United at home. 2 goals, clean sheet. We'll take it, we move on. Exceptional result, really well drilled. As for Cheltenham, a 2-2 draw against Port Vale, a win over MK Dons in the Football League Trophy, but that quite reckless result against Oxford United, it didn't go their way in the end. Penalty, referee, lino, everything went wrong for Cheltenham, really. They lost the game 2-1. Looking at the odds here, 39% chance for Cheltenham, 36% for Cambridge. That's interesting. Cheltenham, the home side, are actually doing, down to the bookies, they've got a higher percent chance of winning. That's really interesting. Home advantage there, I think, is going to be the real talking point. 48% for Cheltenham, 69% for Cambridge. Hello. And that's immature. Can that stay in? It's staying in. I'm going to forget to edit out, so it's going to stay in. And you can see there that they're doing on the eye, really, with the bookies. Cheltenham, they're being backed by them, so that's interesting. And Cambridge actually outdoing their percentage with those specific odds. Them specific odds. That's not very good English, is it? Those specific odds. So Cambridge, they're doing better than Cheltenham on a specific basis, but with the odds on face value, Cheltenham are being backed. That's interesting. So look, I am going to go with I'm sorry, Matt, of course, a brilliant Cheltenham YouTube channel. I know he's watching this, and he's not going to be very happy about it. I'm going to go with the Cambridge win here, but 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 Cambridge United, 1-0. Sorry, Matt, because I know you're watching this, and you're not going to be very happy about it, but I got to do what I got to do. Matt, if you're watching this, what are your score predictions for your side? I'm sure you'll make a video on it after the game. Also, the vlog as well. I can't wait to watch it if you're going to it, of course. I imagine you are, being the home side in that one. Let me know. Right, let's go to Peterborough United against Fleetwood Town. Peterborough, who are currently 6th in the league. 2 defeats, though, in their last 2. It's been up and down for Peterborough, but generally 6th in the league, 4 wins and 3 losses. It's not awful, a little bit inconsistent. They always say you rather lose games than draw them if you win the ones in between. So and that really is what Peterborough are doing. They're winning games, and you take that more than drawing if you're going to lose a few in between. So that sounds really confusing. Hopefully you know what I mean, because you get more points for wins than you do draws if you lose a few and you compare them with wins. Is that a clear point? Am I making sense there? That could be complete rubbish, but I'm going to stick with it. They haven't drawn a game this season. They've lost 3, but they've won 1. Of course, those wins are they've had some good ones over Sheffield Wednesday, the one that really stands out. But in those last 2 games, they haven't been exceptional, and they've lost both of them. So they are slipping down the league table, but not too far. Still in those playoff places. As for Fleetwood Town, 15th in the league, currently winning the draw league. 5 draws. 5 draws on the bounce as well in their last 5. That's very impressive. 8 points from 7, which isn't amazing, but they've only lost 1 game. They've only won 1 game, though. They've drawn, of course, the rest. 7 goals scored, 7 goals conceded. They're very well balanced, aren't they? They're drawing a lot of games, same amount of goals than they are conceding. It's bizarre with Fleetwood. It's very sort of balanced in the middle. We'll just share it all. And you don't want to be sharing. Because in League One, you can't get away with sharing if you want to be sort of hitting those top places. And Fleetwood, I think, like I say, the obvious point we speak about all the time is you've got to start turning those wins turning those draws into wins. And some of those draws have been really good points. Fleetwood was a really good point, you'd say. Derby was a really good point against Fleetwood, for Fleetwood. But they've had some draws in there as well, which you probably would expect to get a little bit more from them. Let's have a little look at these recent fixtures here. You can see them. 2 draws, a 1-1 draw. It was 2 draws, but more than 2. 5 in total for Fleetwood. A 1-1 draw against Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe down to 10 men in that game. 2-2 draw against Lincoln City. 0-0 against Derby. You'd say it is a good result. But maybe could have got more of it from that Lincoln game. Maybe a little bit more from a 10-man Wycombe side. But at the same time, Wycombe are a really difficult side anyway. As for Peterborough, those 2 defeats have come from Pompey 2-1 and Derby 2-1. So they have been really tough results and tough fixtures to sort of deal with. But again, they want to be sort of mixing with those sort of teams. So that's hard. Looking at the odds here, Peterborough heavy favourite, 61% to 19%, 58% when it looks at them specifically. As for Fleetwood, 1% with those specific odds there. They have not got a very good record with those specific odds. So Yeah, I'm going to go Peterborough, and that's not just because the bookies are very, very heavy over them on Fleetwood. I am going to go with a comfortable 3-1 win for Peterborough United, but I understand Fleetwood as well. They have got some good points this season away from home, and also at home as well. They've got quite a few draws, to be fair. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a 3-1 Peterborough United win, but it wouldn't be surprised if Fleetwood come back, and you can't sleep on Fleetwood because new manager, a really good squad there as well. They're going to be damaging and can be causing a lot of problems, but I'm going to go with a 3-1 defeat for Fleetwood. Right then, Wycombe against Accrington Stanley. You can see here Wycombe are currently in 14th spot. 2 draws in their last 2. Unbeaten in the last 3, of course, that makes it. 10 goals scored, 10 goals conceded. 8 points from those 7 games. 2 wins, 2 draws, and 3 losses. Inconsistent. Quite surprising, really, from a Gareth Ainsworth side. Accrington 19th in the league. 2 defeats in their last 2. 7 points from 7. Averaging, of course, quick maths once more, 1 point every single game. They're not, of course, they are averaging that, but they're not getting 1 point every single game. But they're averaging it a point a game. Just thought I'd make that clear. I didn't need to, but I thought I would. Looking at these recent games here, Accrington losing to Forest Green Rovers 2-1. That's a blow. That's a blow because they should probably be doing better in that type of game. But Forest Green, again, I look at Forest Green. I know we haven't sort of spoken about them yet, and we will come to them. But again, they're not having a brilliant season, and that feels like a big, heavy blow for Accrington, even though it was only 2-1. On a Tuesday night, that was their game in hand as well, and on quite a few sides, they actually lost it. They're going to be frustrated by it, especially as they lost the game before that to Ipswich, which isn't disappointing, really. I mean, it's disappointing because they lost the game, but Ipswich, of course, are a top side and will probably win most of the games this season, as already proven. Wycombe with a draw against Fleetwood, but down to 10 men in that game. A draw against Charlton as well the time before that, and a very good win over Barnsley, 3-0 away from home. Looking at the odds here, Wycombe 91 to 100, 52% chance of winning, 58% specifically. As for Accrington, 3 to 1, 25% chance, but specifically, you see it at 29%. So, Wycombe, they are the favourites, quite heavy favourites over Accrington Stanley and John Coleman's Accrington Stanley side in this case. I'm going to go the Wycombe win here. I'm going to go with it, and I'm going to go with a 2-1 Wycombe win. It's going to be tight because Wycombe, like I said, the way they play, they're going to try and keep it as tight as they can, but they've got quality, and they're going to make it very difficult, as you can imagine, for this Accrington side. Right, Charlton against Forest Green Rovers next. We said we'd speak about Forest Green Rovers, a brilliant win over Accrington Stanley, one that Accrington were not happy with whatsoever in terms of result, because Forest Green didn't start the season, haven't started the season exceptionally well. You can see a 21st in the league, but that win does sort of push them into, a really interesting position. Only 2 points between those two sides after 7 games. It is, of course, early days, but 2 points between 7 points, of course, Forest Green, and 9 points Charlton, who are 12th in the league, exactly mid-table. It's amazing what a win can do this early in the season. Forest Green are a brilliant example of that. 15 goals conceded, though. They're weak defensively. They really, really are, conceding a lot of goals defensively. 6 goals scored. Charlton, 11 goals scored, 9 goals conceded. Fairly average, really. You look at those other sides around them, but 11 goals scored is really, really good. The key men there, Raksaki, Scott Fraser starting really well this season. Could have maybe done with another striker. That'll be concerning, really. I don't think Jaden Stockley's going to be able to sort of score them in the amount of goals, really, on a consistent basis. They will need to really be pushing into that top 6. He might prove me wrong there, but again, he's not really... He doesn't strike me as a 25-goal striker or a 20-goal striker. He probably could get 20 goals, but you need more. And if he comes out of form, you need someone else that can come in there. They have got Leeburn, of course, but again, he's young. So again, can you rely on him? They did need another number 9. Charlton, of course, lost their last game as well. Winless in their last 3. Very up and down, really. But before that defeat against Bolton, which did show too much of last season, ultimately, and the bad habits of last season, I was really impressed with Charlton, and I still am. I'm not going to let one result hinder my view on them. 1-1 against Wycombe, a brilliant win over Plymouth, 5-1. 1-1 against Cambridge was a bit frustrating. There's still aspects they really do need to improve, and Ben Garner will be looking to sort of suss them out, or maybe not suss them out. He probably can identify them, but solve them. That'll be the next point. As for Forest Green Rovers, it hasn't been great, conceding a lot of goals. A heavy defeat to Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough, but a good win over Accrington Stanley in their sort of game in hand, if you like. We haven't got Forest Green's odds, but you can see here Charlton are 55%, so they will be favourites. They have got a higher percentage than Forest Green, 48% for them specifically. So Charlton, they are the favourites, being the home side as well. You can see why. I'm going to go with Charlton win here. They're going to put things right after that disappointing Bolton Wanderers loss. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Charlton win. Comfortable, but I'm going to go with it. And that'd be a really good result for them. Clean sheet as well. Put things right, Charlton. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for them and for Ben Garner in that one. Right then, let's go to MK Dons against Bolton Wanderers. MK Dons hosting Ian Everett's side. You can see it looking at the league table. Bolton 8th in the league, a win in the last game, a brilliant win, as previously mentioned, to Charlton. 11 points, a little bit inconsistent, but a lot to build on. I think Ian Everett is really trying to find out his best 11 still at this point. And that back five is really sort of doing quite well with those wing backs are doing really well. And Jack Irondale and Connor Bradley. That back three is slowly sort of, I think, working out what his best three centre-backs are. He has got quite a few centre-backs he can choose from, and he's now trying to work out exactly what he wants to do. Santos is the centre. That was not really any sort of talking point, but there's other centre-backs as well. Who is he going to go with? I think he is now starting to really work that out. In those attacking areas, he's got a lot of options. Maybe could have done with one more option as that other number 9, Dion Childs, just coming back from injury. Could he do with someone else in that number 9 position? Maybe. 6 goals conceded, 8 goals scored. Could do with a few more goals. Like I say, he's really sussing out that back five. Those forward options. Can he just find someone else or find a different way of attacking? Maybe. I think they need to, because they've got Dion Charles, who hasn't been fit so far. Now he's coming back into full fitness. They can play Dapper there. They can play also as a number 10. Kieran Lee's also a really good option. More goals for me. They need that. And the creativity's there. The output isn't completely. 6 goals conceded, though, is a really good record and proving that, again, their back line is now really starting to strengthen and has been strengthened even more through the window. A win, of course, in the last game, but 2 defeats before that, though. As for MK Dons, a loss in their last game, putting sort of to bed that sort of hope for momentum and rhythm, really. They were unbeaten, 2 wins and a draw in their last 3 before that loss, if that makes sense. And that loss does feel like a real kick where it hurts, because they were trying to really build some sort of rhythm that wasn't able to do and keep with that defeat against Exeter. They didn't look great in that game whatsoever either. 7 points currently from 7 games, 8 goals conceded, 7 goals scored. Not the attacking, free-flowing type of football that we saw from Liam Manning last season. Those, I think, departures in the window really sort of proving to be difficult departures ultimately for them, and sort of trying to get that rhythm again going into this one. It's difficult. As for Bolton, like I say, 3-1 win over Charlton, 4-1 for Crewe in the Cup as well. But a disappointing Plymouth defeat. Got battered by Aston Villa, but I watched that game. First half, they were better than the Premier League side, so fair play to them. 2-0 against Sheffield Wednesday as well, so that was annoying. But like I say, getting back to winning ways against Charlton was important, and they did that. As for MK Dons, a brilliant win over Morecambe, a brilliant win over Watford, a good draw really against Accrington. You'd say maybe could have got a win over that one. Ultimately, we look at Accrington now, but Accrington were unbeaten at that point in the season. 2-1 over Port Vale as well, but that 1-0 defeat to Exeter was not good whatsoever, and does put an end to what hoped for Liam Manning to be a good run beginning. MK Dons 163 to 100, a brilliant odd there. 38% chance of winning, exactly the same chance of winning. I've just outdone myself there when I said earlier the tightest game with the bookies. This has trumped it, and I don't think he can get even any tighter than this. 38 and 38% for both Bolton and MK Dons to win this game. So close. 33 to 29 as well for them specifically. So MK Dons do edge them with those specific odds, which is interesting. This is really difficult to call, because if MK Dons play the way that they can play, but they're not showing it enough, but if they can play at home as well, they can beat Bolton. They really, really can. Of course they can. But Bolton, again, they're going to be really confident after that win against Charlton. And like I say, defensively, they've been really good this season. MK Dons haven't scored enough goals. I'm going to go with a draw, 2-2, which does sort of go against the fact that MK Dons and Bolton haven't scored an amazing amount of goals, 8 goals and 7 goals for those two sides. But I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Their goal-scoring output is going to now turn around with this game for both sides, but it's going to end with a point each. I'm going to go 2-2 in this one. But again, that could be completely wrong. Like most of them, as we've shown so far this season. 2-2, I'm going to go with in that game. So Ipswich versus Bristol Rovers is the game we're going to be chatting about now. Of course, Ipswich starting the season after 7 games very, very well. Top of the table, still unbeaten as well, 17 points. As for Bristol Rovers, 7 games played, 2 wins, 2 draws and 3 losses. 11 goals conceded, a little bit worrying, but 10 goals scored as well. They are scoring goals, but shipping a little bit too many. Actually winless in their last 4 as well. 2 draws and then 2 defeats before that. 8 points from those 7 games. In terms of recent fixtures, a draw for for Bristol Rovers. I guess it was for Morecambe as well, but it was a draw in that game, 2-2. Disappointing, really, you'd say, for Bristol Rovers. Look at where Morecambe are this season, how they're playing at home as well. You could probably be doing better than that. I can't talk about being an Oxford United fan. We drew to them as well. A brilliant win over Accrington. Comfortable, professional, 2-0. Job done, it felt like, in that game. An exceptional win over Northampton in the Football League Trophy, but who cares about the competition? I certainly don't. Offended? Maybe. 2-2 draw against Barnsley. A lot of controversy in that game. Looking at the odds here, we haven't really spoken about... we can't speak about it because we can't see them. We can't actually see the Bristol Rovers odds here. But Ipswich 11 to 25, 69% chance of winning, 67 with them specifically. Ipswich will be, and the maths does suggest, they will be the bookies' favourites. I'm going to go with an Ipswich win. I can't see them losing the unbeaten run, and certainly not even... That's just losing. I don't even see them drawing the game either, which of course wouldn't lose their unbeaten run. I'm going to go with a win. A win again, I think, at home this year. Of course, they drew to Barnsley at home, but that's Barnsley, and they're having a really good season generally. Now they are picking it up. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a win for Ipswich here. I'm going to go 2-0. Comfortable, professional. They've been doing it lately. Accrington was a really good win, 2-0 as well. It wasn't massively high scoring. They can do that. But again, a lot of their results this season just have been not grinding, but just cruising, if you like, and I just see that continuing. So I'm going to go 2-0. Right then, let's go to Plymouth, because it's a game we don't want to talk about, or I certainly don't either. This is going to be the toughest game of the season for me, up there with Derby County, probably on par with Derby, but then Plymouth beat Derby, so if that sort of does suggest anything, it probably will be harder than that opening game for Oxford United. And for Plymouth, again, hopefully we don't make it easy for them. I don't imagine we will, but it was going to be a really interesting game. Oxford now climbing the table with 2 wins on the bounce, a draw before that one as well, 10 points, 11th in the league. Plymouth, 3rd in the league, 15 points, 3 wins on the bounce. So really, sort of recent form, really recent, those last sort of 3 games. It's been fairly close. 3 wins for Plymouth, 2 wins for Oxford, and a draw being the other game there for the Yellows. So it has been tight in those last 3, but generally across the start of the season, Oxford didn't start very well at all, and Plymouth did start well. 5 wins and 2 losses for Stephen Schumacher's side, and for Oxford, 3 wins, 3 losses, and a draw in there as well. Not scoring enough goals still for my liking. 7 and 7 for goals scored and goals conceded. Defensively better than Plymouth, our opposition, but Plymouth definitely outdoing us. 6 goals scored more than Oxford as well. So clearly Plymouth the better side going forward. Technically Oxford are better defensively, but again, they're going to be deadly going forward. Looking at the recent fixtures here, sort of looking at those wins in a little bit more detail. We spoke about it from a Derby perspective. That brilliant comeback for Plymouth, 3-2 in that one. Oxford making it difficult, but getting past Burton 2-1. A really good win against Cheltenham. Again, not in terms of performance really, but in terms of really grinding and getting... really digging in really at times. 2-1 over Cheltenham. 2-0 for Plymouth over Bolton Wanderers. 3-0 over Forest Green as well. 1-1 over Bristol Rovers in the Cup. So their recent run has been very, very good. Been really impressed with Plymouth, and you get that brilliant comeback that Sam Cosgrove was a real key man in there. I was impressed by him in that one, and definitely did an exceptional job to come back at Pride Park, which is not an easy place to come back and get the 3 points against. Plymouth currently 44% chance of winning, Oxford 31. Plymouth outdoing us as well when it comes to specific odds. Oxford doing worse than their odds as well. So Plymouth are favourites with the bookies. Home side doing better ultimately this year so far. Yeah. Again, I always seem to do this with Oxford, and it's because I always support the team that I love, of course. So, a head prediction, heart prediction. Heart says, and this is sort of just showing how difficult I think this test is going to be. My heart says 1-1. My head says 2-0. That's sad, isn't it, really? That is quite sad, but I just think Plymouth are just a really good outfit. A really, really good outfit, and I think it's going to make it so tough for Oxford. And the question is always going to be, can Oxford pose more of a threat going forward? Because if we can, then it's purely game on. But Plymouth, it's going to be so tough for Oxford. It's going to be so tough. So 1-1 with heart. I mean, my heart probably would say 2-1, but again, you've got to still be realistic with your heart. So I'm going to go 1-1. I'm going to go with a 2-0 defeat, which is just horrible. Horrible to say, but it's just how I feel. I think Plymouth are just, like I say, playing such good football, and going forward, they're ruthless as well. But, maybe Oxford's defence that has improved. Could it deal with it? We'll wait and see. Right then, Pompey going to bottom of the league, also managerless Burton Albion. Second in the league for Pompey, 5 wins from 5. It's just really good, isn't it? 2 draws as well in there, still unbeaten in the league. 15 goals scored, the top goal scorers in the league. Only 6 goals conceded as well. 17th, joint top with Ipswich, of course. Only, is it goals scored? It might be goal difference, I'm not sure. Meaning that they aren't top, but again, they'll take it. They'll definitely take it. Second in the league. Burton was, like I say, rock bottom, 24th on the table here. 1 1 point, 4 defeats on the bounce. Like I say, no manager as well. Still without a win. 20 goals conceded, 8 goals scored. Going forward, they've actually scored a few, but defensively, absolutely all over the shop. They couldn't concede, I don't know. What's the Mark Goldbridge saying? Like a poppadom in the rain. Going very soggy and conceding and breaking very quickly. That's not my analogy, purely Mark Goldbridge's. But I'm going to take it in this case because Burton are a very good example of a side that defensively, they're not cohesive whatsoever. 2-1 to Pompey against Peterborough. A brilliant result for them. A really professional, well done performance. Peterborough, again, played fairly well in that game, but Pompey sort of held strong, defended when they needed to, scored when they needed to, which is always helpful, and won the game really well. A 1-0 win over Port Vale as well. A brilliant win over Bristol Rovers. It's just been another just win after win after win, and when you go 5 wins on the trot, that's normally how it works. As for Burton, like I say, we could go through all the losses this season, but it would take too long, unfortunately. We're only 7 games in. 2-1 to Oxford. It didn't look awful in the game, but again, Oxford, we made it difficult, and we should have won that game by more. But that's Oxford for you this season. 4-3 against Cambridge United, Sunday League score, but one they did come off the wrong end of. 2-0 against Port Vale, very disappointing. 1-0 to Ipswich, not as disappointing. In the first half, looked the better side, but again, sort of just weren't able to hang on. 4-4 against Accrington as well. 2-0 against Rochdale in the Cup, not good. 4-0 against Bristol Rovers at home with a red card, not great. 3-0 away against Wycombe, not great either. We did go for all of them. Burton, 23% chance of winning. Portsmouth, 54. Heavy favourites for Pompey. Quite expected, you'd say. I'm going to go the Pompey win here. Tom from 4-0 written all over it. He'll surely back me. He's going to this game. And, he'll back me up by saying I think Pompey, they're feeling good at it right now. In fact, we've got Tom on the channel. I'm recording an episode with him today as I'm recording this. So, got lots of episodes, by the way, coming your way. A few personal changes. I don't know why we're talking about this now, but we can sort of delve into it. So a few personal changes coming to the podcast that will affect the podcast slightly. I say slightly. It's going on tour, really, but not on tour because it's moving for the foreseeable future. We'll come on to that. Probably might do an episode on that, or might do it for the first episode of the new home, if you like. That might give you a few hints to where we're sort of taking this, or where I'm going in a little bit more detail. But so where did we get on with that? Because I was saying we've got quite a lot of episodes this week. Before at the weekend, it all does sort of change a little bit. But it doesn't mean the podcast won't, doesn't mean it's stopping whatsoever, really. But yeah, it's going to be a busy week. And Tom, I'm sure in the episode we film today, will be backing his boys in this one. And they should win the game. Did I give a prediction? I don't think I did. I'm going to go with a 3-0 Pompey win here. Comfortable win. I think they're just going to do it easily, which is actually quite risky to say, but I'm happy to say it because Pompey are doing so well and Burton, they're a shambles. So Morecambe versus Sheffield Wednesday is the next game. You can see here Morecambe in that 23rd spot, looking at the league table here. 7 games played, still without a win, alongside Burton, still winless. 4 draws and 3 defeats, 4 points from 7. It's not great whatsoever. As for Sheffield Wednesday, 4th in the league, 7 games played, 4 wins, 1 draw and 2 losses, 13 points, a loss in their last game. Didn't go down very well with the fans, it must be said. 7 goals conceded, 12 goals scored, though, so far this season. We'll come on to that defeat that didn't go down very well. Barnsley at home, 2-0. The work rate, the distance covered by the players wasn't amazing, and I think, like I say, quite a lot of stick from the fans towards Darren Moore. The players, quite rightly, when the players don't run or don't show the effort they sort of should be showing, that's going to frustrate fans, and it certainly did in that game, completely understandably. And they lost it as well, which did not help matters. 2-0 a home defeat there. As for Morecambe, 2-2 draw against Bristol Rovers, which isn't actually that bad, really. It's a fairly good point. But again, losing at home to MK Dons 4-0. Doesn't sound great, does it? But for Sheffield Wednesday, before that defeat to Barnsley, a 5-0 win over Forest Green, a 3-0 win over Rochdale in the Cup, 2-0 against Bolton Wanderers away from home. They've had some really good results so far this season, but again, losing at home to Barnsley, that's not great. It's not great whatsoever. And we didn't look at the bookies, did we? Bookies are saying 17% for Morecambe, 65% for Sheffield Wednesday. So, and Morecambe actually doing worse specifically. Sheffield Wednesday doing worse, but only by 1%. So Sheffield Wednesday, they are favourites quite heavily, as you'd imagine. I'm going to go with a Sheffield Wednesday win here. I'm going to go with a 3-1 Sheffield Wednesday win. Comfortable. And they need to make it comfortable because they need to put things right because the fans are not happy with them after that defeat against Barnsley, which does mean we should be going to our final game, which is right, I believe. It is Barnsley against Port Vale, a side, like I say, who did very, very well at Hillsborough, winning that game 2-0. Port Vale also mixed, inconsistent, but 17th in the league for a newly promoted side after 7 games isn't the worst at all. 8 points, only technically 4 points off the playoffs. I'm just saying, Port Vale fans, it can happen. It really, really can. Barnsley 10th in the league. Didn't start the season amazingly well, but a really, really good win. Unbeaten in the last two. And like I said, that Hillsborough win will go down really, really well. Can they take that confidence into this game? They certainly will hope so. The hosts, of course, in this one. 3 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Port Vale 2-2-3 when it comes to their form. Why is it refresh there? That's annoying. We'll come on to the odds, actually. Barnsley 49%, Port Vale 28%. So Barnsley, like I said, they're going to take the psychological confidence from that game against Sheffield Wednesday into this one. And I think they will. Barnsley, they're sort of really starting to understand what Michael Duff wants and expects from them in terms of the playing style, the formation, the players that they've brought in are really starting to gel as well. So, yeah, 61% actually for Barnsley when you look at those odds on a specific level. Port Vale, not really backed by the bookies, it must be said. For Port Vale, it was a 2-2 draw against Cheltenham. Like I say, for Sheffield Wednesday against Barnsley. Barnsley coming out on top really, really well in that game as well. And actually, a 2-2 draw against Ipswich isn't bad either. I mean, they probably got a little bit lucky with a few refereeing decisions. But generally, point to point, it's a good point, you'd say, actually. Playing against Ipswich and then Sheffield Wednesday, both away, coming away with 4 points from 6, you probably take that, Barnsley fans. So I'm going to go with the Barnsley win over Port Vale in this one as well, getting that, league position probably increased as well. So tight, a win would put them, obviously the other sides will be playing and winning, you'd expect, but again, they're going to be certainly closer to that top 6 with 3 points. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Barnsley win here, and that does round up all of the games for Tuesday night in Sky Bet League on a full programme. As I say, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. How are you feeling? Give me your predictions for your side, or maybe all the sides as well, maybe a couple, I don't mind. I'm replying and responding to all of them as per usual. Please leave a like and subscribe, so close to 3.2 thousand subscribers, incredible stuff. Please do that, and that notification bell as well will notify you when I go live or do a recorded episode just like this one. Thank you so much for the recent support. Of course, no games last week and fully understandable reasons, but even in that episode, it's done fairly well, so thank you so much for that. You didn't have to watch that, and you did, so thank you very, very much. But these games have been confirmed this morning. They should be going ahead, so yeah, let's see what happens. I've been Jack. This has been the Young Fan Podcast. Take care, stay safe. I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care.